Look, we said a couple weeks ago that Clint Dempsey's health was our priority. I'm here to provide an update today, and unfortunately, we are going to rule him out for the rest of the season. It is, as you guys know, he was returned to train and not to play, and we simply haven't been able to get to a point where we felt comfortable there was a realistic chance. As we said in the first round of comments, we are not comfortable putting any kind of pressure on this. His return to play is not important relative to his health, both short-term and long-term. And we feel by ruling him out today, they puts us in the best position to eventually get him back, hopefully for the 2017 season. The last thing I'd add is we will not have another update until preseason camp next year, and by that point, we again hopeful that Clint will be able to make a return at that point. But again, we feel like this is the right thing for Clint, and the best way to get him healthy to rule him out today for the rest of the season.
Garth, did anything change over the last couple of weeks?
No, in the sense that he was still undergoing an evaluation, right? And that was why he had not been cleared to return to play. That evaluation is ongoing, and again, we haven't gotten to a point where we felt comfortable continuing. We just want to, at this point, remove any pressure for him to play, because we got to get him healthy, and we have to take care of Clint first and foremost.
When were you aware that he actually had a problem?
He had been getting some tests over the course of a couple of months. One of those tests came back with some data that showed an irregularity, and we then took him out and proceeded to begin this evaluation. And again, that process is still underway. But it was something that we had found over the course of him playing for us, and we'd been tracking and monitoring him for some time, and it popped up, and it's something that we have to take care of, and we can't take any risks with something as serious as this.
What was the impetus for those original tests, and roughly when did that happen?
I'll simply say that it took course of the place. We started monitoring him, I don't know at this point, probably 2 months ago. And that's, as I said, the monitor then picked up some irregularities in the heartbeat, and that's what we've been trying to address.
Just to clarify, you said the hope is that he will be back for 2017. Correct your mind right now?
Yes, that is our hope. Yep.
Will he be around with the team here this year? End of this season?
With some of this evaluation, some of the stuff is out of market, some of it's in market. So again, his health will be the priority, his treatment will be the priority, and wherever that takes him, that's where he's going to be. And again, the point of making the announcement today is he's not coming back today, and so please don't worry or speculate as to, is he here today, is he not here tomorrow. You may in fact see him out here at some point, but we're going to do what's best for Clint.
How does this impact morale for the team, or their mindset? Is he coming? Is he not? Is he going to play? Is he not? How does this change things?
I think it just provides some clarity for everybody, right? It's not just the public facing, but it's internally. And look, Clint hasn't been available for a couple games now. We've tried to adjust to his absence on the field. Obviously, we're a better team when he's part of us and he's with us. We all know that. But I have a lot of high commendation to give the guys who are playing. We're playing very well right now. We're getting some great results. Still have some work to do to try to get in the playoffs. But we've begun scoring goals from multiple positions and multiple players. And that's how you replace Clint Dempsey. We don't have another player on the roster, and there aren't many players in the league or in the world that are at his level. So we need to replace his production collectively, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that in the last 8 or 9 games.
How much have you guys worked with U.S. Soccer through this process, and do they also expect him to be out for the remainder of this year?
We've been in communication with U.S. Soccer. What I would say is they are philosophically on the same page with us. They want what's best for Clint as well. I can't speak for them, but again, he's not healthy, and we have to get him healthy before he gets medically cleared to play. He's not medically cleared to play, so therefore he's not going to play for anybody, not us, not them.
What role is he going to play while he's not playing? Is he going to have a role in the team while he's not playing for the remainder of the season?
Depends on his rehab and what's recommended by the doctors. As he continues to undergo this evaluation, then again he'll be wherever he needs to be and whatever schedule he needs to be on. Again, to prioritize his return, with the idea that if we prioritize this now, then hopefully we can get him back by 2017. He might be, and look, that'll be up to Clint. Does he what role does he want to play? And again, it's going to be secondary to what's medically best for Clint.
mentally, how is Clint? How's he feeling?
I think he's doing all right. But look, this is a serious thing, right? And if it happened to any of us, we take it pretty seriously as well. So I know he's thinking about what's good for him long term, as well as playing soccer. And I'm sure he'll go through that process. But look, when he was out here with us, he was nothing but positive and optimistic and hardworking. And Clint's overcome a lot, and I have every hope that he's going to overcome this as well. There are multiple doctors involved in this process, and some are in market, some are out of market. We're coordinating with U.S. Soccer on some of this process as well. So we have a lot of really smart people thinking and looking at this, and I would say that they all agree that this is the right decision at this time for Clint.
Does something like this make your job harder as a GM to maybe think about the future next season and how this roster is going to look like without being not sentimental about the situation?
Look, right now we're hopeful that Clint's going to return. And again, the point, and from a roster planning perspective, which is third or fourth priority of this whole thing, is to simply say, hey, look, let's take this off the table right now. Let's prioritize his long-term health. If we do that, that maximizes our chances of having him back in 2017, and that would be by far the best result for Clint. It would obviously also be a good result for us.
Did his contract structure change at all? Because I think most people thought that his contract they originally signed was up at the end of this season.
Yeah, obviously I haven't been here from the day that he signed, but Clint is under contract through the end of next season.
Okay.
How did Clint seem to react to this decision?
I personally haven't talked to him in the last couple of days, so broadly speaking, the reaction has been, when he's been with us, it's been really positive. Look, it's something that he's been dealing with and has to overcome, and he's a tough guy, and I think he'll get through it.
Anything else, guys?
Has Clint sought any outside specialists on his own, or has everything been in the team umbrella?
Everything has been through the team, and look, we have a good relationship with Clint and with Clint's representation and the national team. And again, there's a lot of people that are involved that have Clint's interest in mind, and we've been coordinating, communicating with all of them. And yes, it's been some out of market, some in market. So again, all you're trying to do is get the best possible people to look at this and understand what the best possible course of evaluation and treatment might be.
Great, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right.
Thanks,